auto sorter on YouTube, TikTok had clips on it, and somebody wanted a tutorial, so I'm making that now. This is an expanded system. The system I had on there did kick out the rocks and the torches. The problem with that, they don't have like a dropper in Rust right now. So if you want that, you just connect all of these outputs that we're going to hook up in a minute to another one of these combiners and then out to this barrel. The problem is usually when you have multiple kits in here like this, it loads it and then it'll take your rock last. So it'll still have everything, but it'll mess up the order of it because your rock and your torch will be here. So essentially this is the easiest way to do it here. So that way you just throw out your rock and your torch, go up, get the kit, and it auto refills. But you can have as many boxes as you want for stuff. I'm going to have these as AK Bolty, for example, with the clothes that I want and then the ammo. And if you have more boxes, like say multiple boxes of guns, so you don't have to refill as long, you just take another combiner and then you hook the out into the in. You know, you chain these together and then the final out will go to the conveyor. But how this will work, and the main thing that you want to remember is, let's see, so guns I want in the first slot of the hot bar here. If you connect this first, it'll give you meds first a lot of the time. So what you need to do is out over here to industrial N1, and then you just kind of remember the numbers. If you have multiple boxes, obviously you can put it as 2, and then, you know, chain more off of these. If there's an expanded tutorial that anybody wants, I can definitely make that. But this is a simple system to get you going. And then this would be 2, 3. So 1, 2, and then 3, close. Close doesn't really matter. It only will go in the close slot. But you take all of those over to the input, and then output goes to the first storage adapter, and then you just chain these in, out, just like that. So essentially you need 3 total storage adapters for the chests, or however many chests you have, that's where it's modular, and then this would be just 3. But if you have another locker, you can even chain this output here over to like the input of the next locker and chain all of this together. But essentially how this will work right here is you walk up, any kit that you want once you're fully naked, you get that. I forgot to turn it on. And then you turn it on, auto loads in the kit for you, just like that. And then how you get that is you need to set anything that you want to go in here. The order doesn't matter as much. That's why I told you the industrial ends. Make sure like what slot you want, that's where it is. Here I just did close first. Make sure you put max one of the guns, or however many guns you want. Meds, however many you want. I chose 6 and 2 walls and a stack of ammo. And the stacking on this build server is weird, obviously. You know, if you had 2 guns, you wouldn't have room for 6 ammo, or 6 meds, because it would stack 2. So you would either need 4 here, or you would need to remove the walls, or, you know, grab ammo separately. However you want to do that, but this system is made just for this little build server here. So if you wanted to actually make it usable on a regular, you would just make 4 here. And it would still give you walls, you would still have 4 meds, it would just be expanded here a bit. You see what I mean? So it'd be 2 meds, then your walls and everything. But that whole system works for anything. But when you have the conveyor out for the rocks and torches, I'll show you what it does. Essentially, when you take it, here where the... That was quick, but here where the AK and Bolty is, your rock and torch will still be there for a minute, so all of your slots will kind of get messed up. But that's essentially the system. I definitely hope you guys have enjoyed that.